What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Test Your Might, our weekly video game debate show. But this week we're holding debate once again because just a lot of scheduling conflicts, a lot of things came up. So we are just hitting you with a small news episode just to touch base with you guys and to get another episode out. So alongside me is my co-host, Justin. How you doing today, Justin?
I'm doing great. Early in the morning, let's get it. Let's get some news going.
Yeah, we've never recorded a Test Your Might this early, and so yeah, I'm glad that we can get together, Justin, and get some news out today. So, but yeah, just a little bit of housekeeping. Please leave us a review if you're on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts as well. Subscribe anywhere that you listen to us on any podcasting platform that you prefer. It will greatly, greatly help us just get a little bit more sight, a little bit more exposure to the podcasting world. As well as if you're on YouTube, if you're watching us right now, please click that subscribe button, hit the bell for the notifications, all the things, like, comment, subscribe. We won't see you next time. That's the end of the video. All right. We just would really appreciate, we're on the road to 100 subs on YouTube. So would greatly appreciate your support there. So thank you for that. As well as we did have to delay our last 90s First show episode. So stay tuned for that coming out this Friday. We'll be talking a little bit of Halloween stuff, a little bit of a spooky vibe, a little bit more family-friendly 90s Halloween stuff. And then, if all goes according to plan, we will get another episode reviewing the 90s Halloween movies, like Halloween, the series, the franchise. Yeah, that one. And the new Halloween Kills. And that hopefully will come out right on Halloween for you guys to listen. So we're really excited about that episode, but we'll see. Might be a slightly delayed depending on us stay-at-home dads and our schedules. We got to be honest. So all right. So, again, this is going to be an abbreviated version, just a little bit of news. So, Justin, you're really going to kick us off here because our What Have You Been Playing segment, I literally played 0 video games this past week. Just this past week was crazy. So, Justin, what have you been playing? Let us know.
New Dark Anthologies came out. I don't know if anyone follows those. It's scary games. I'm glad Jelly's not here to talk about it because he wouldn't know. But it's kind of like a choose your own ending, play with friends, movie night kind of thing. You play a character and you play through the story. There was a new one that came out called House of Ashes, just came out last week. And my coworkers and I put aside a day when it was coming out to play it. So we've played through most of it. We didn't get through it all. It's about 8 to 10 hours. So it's a longer game. Fantastic. Visually, story, drama, characters, things, killing characters. Very scary. It's a lot of quick time events and a lot of walking around, collecting items and learning the story. And also betraying other people in your party if need be. But you save other people as well, and you make good choices that butterfly effect throughout the entire game. So towards the end, everything that you've made decision-wise changes everything, which is like an old Telltale game. But also, like growing up, I had a lot of Goosebump books, and one of them was a choose your own ending. And anything that has that in it, I'm on board, especially when it's scary, knowing me. So like you have all these choices, all these, is this character going to die or is this character going to die? And everything changes based on those choices, even conversations, how characters react to you in the next cutscenes.
Yeah.
It's insane, and it's a lot of fun. House of Ashes just came out. It's $30, and phenomenal. It's the third of the saga that they're doing, the trilogy, and they're going to do another one. It's already in the works. These games sell really well. The original one was called Until Dawn, which wasn't made by the same company, but it was the same flow. And that was on the PlayStation only, and that was a horror movie-esque game as well. And then now this is the third of this trilogy, which is fantastic. House of Ashes, great.
Isn't Ashley Tisdale in this one?
Yes,
too?
She's one of the lead female protagonists that you can play. Yes.
Yeah, I heard some good things about this one, so definitely check it out, listeners. And for $30, I feel like that's a really good deal.
Yeah, you could either play solo or you can go movie night mode, which is when you pass a controller around to all your friends that are in the room. And you only need 5. So it's not that bad. You can do it. I believe you can play online as well. But being in the room with your friends, seeing their reactions to things, that makes the story even better.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. And I also heard that this was the first one that wasn't exactly on rails. Like you have actually a 3D camera and stuff like that.
Yes, you're able to move around a lot. It is linear when it comes to storytelling, but you're able to explore a lot more. And also, this is the first of the trilogy that inspires you to, or makes you want to make fail things. Like, say a QuickTime event is happening, and you're choosing, oh, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but you're like trying to save somebody, but you're doing it the wrong way. If you continue that QuickTime event, you might kill that person. So you can choose whether to fail a QuickTime event or a push of a button to change the story as well, which is really weird. Instead of being like, oh, I gotta get this done, I gotta do this correctly, it might have negative effects.
Wow. Okay. Well, listeners, that's Dark Anthology, House of
Ashes.
House of Ashes. So definitely check that out. All right. Like I said, I didn't get a chance to play any video games this past weekend. Or this past week. So nothing from here. I'll try to get some. I'll try to get some games in this week. So I am looking forward. I might pick up that Guardians of the Galaxy game. It's looking like it's getting some good reviews. So we'll see.
The only thing that I have about that is that you're only able to play Star-Lord. That's the thing that really threw me off. I wanted to be able to play Groot and Rocket, and I thought like switching between the characters would have been better for the story. But playing Star-Lord at all, it looks great. That's for sure.
I heard it really, really works.
Okay.
So definitely keep that in mind. But let's move on to some news. Now, we at Test Your Might have mentioned this franchise several times and its mistreatment by Ubisoft, but there is a pretty concrete rumor going around right now that Splinter Cell is actually in development, a new game in the franchise from Ubisoft. So, Justin, I don't know if you're a huge fan of the Splinter Cell series or if you've played all of them or not, but what are your thoughts on what are your thoughts on a 2021 and further type Splinter Cell game?
I've played a lot of stealth games. Dishonored, phenomenal game. And then Splinter Cell growing up, I used to play them. It was a different type of stealth for sure. You were trapping up the enemy a lot and keeping your distance. If Ubisoft were to do it correctly for the fans, there is a huge fan base that loved Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Sam Fisher is a huge icon for Ubisoft, and the mistreatment of just not coming out with the game or not caring about it, it stinks. But for fans, if they were to do it correctly, I think it would bring in big numbers. I really do. Splinter Cell has been nodded to in a lot of things recently as well. Even up to the newest game by Ubisoft, Far Cry 6, you can get a bobblehead on the front of your car, inside your car, that is Sam Fisher. So it's an Easter egg that they've been putting in games for a while, knowing like, hey, we know about this character. We know you guys like this character. Let's tease it a little bit more, and then we're going to drop the bomb. And if this rumor is true, Ubisoft, you've done it if you do it right.
Yeah. I think if you do it right is the key, right? Because I think the fear of a lot of the Splinter Cell community is that they will Ubisoftify it. That's not a word, but they will change it. They will change it to an open world outpost type game, and yeah, sure, they'll add stealth elements to clearing those outposts and stuff. But I really don't think that's what the Splinter Cell community wants. I think they want a linear experience that is completely stealth, and I'm really hoping that they get that. I really hope that Ubisoft, if they did start development here, that they're listening to what their community wants, because that's one of my biggest gripes with Ubisoft is that, at least with Splinter Cell, like and with other stuff, even like Ghost Recon with the recently announced Battle Royale type deal, that like they just don't have a pulse on what their community actually wants. So hopefully they do right by the Splinter Cell community. I know there's a lot of people who love the franchise, so hopefully they do right by it. And yeah, I don't expect this game until like 2025. I gotta
No,
be honest.
yeah,
Like, yeah,
definitely going to be a while.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
When I made out the outline for last week, Test Your Might, if you haven't listened, viewers and listeners, go listen. I had a question in there about Frontline coming out, Ghost Recon, and what Ubisoft should have made, what game they should have made instead for the fans. And I was hoping one of you guys would pick Splinter Cell, but I understand that, and it's fine. But
we've debated Splinter Cell so often when that question repeats itself. And so that's why I chose not to do that. And then Cicero came out of left field. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
it is. All right, next on the docket, Justin, this one hits a little home for us. I'm excited that we'll be playing this on November 11th when it comes out, but the trailer for the GTA Trilogy did come out, and honestly, it looks like a substantial update to these games. And so what were your thoughts on that quick trailer? Are you excited? You getting pumped for the remaster trilogy here?
I cannot wait. I told you, inside baseball, as Jelly would say it. I told you I was looking for the pre-order. I was looking everywhere. It's not on the Xbox store. It's nowhere to be seen. And lo and behold, Mike sends me a link through the Xbox store on the website, and instantly I'm like, boop boop boop. All right, it's pre-ordered. And 2 hours later, they announced that San Andreas is coming to the Game Pass for free for subscribers. And I was like, it's just San Andreas, thank goodness. But I wanted Vice City. I wanted the whole collection, and it looks so good based on the trailer. Visually, it just looks great. It's definitely been brought up to, I wouldn't say the current generation of graphics, but it's brought up enough that it's going to be playable and you're going to be able to enjoy it for sure.
Yeah, visually it looks stunning. To be honest, to take these PS2, Xbox era games and give them that much of a facelift. I mean, speaking of facelift, your protagonist, antagonist, whatever you want to call them, the character that you control in GTA 3, you could see his face. Like he actually has a defined face, which he did not have in the original release. So I'm just really excited to explore, because listeners, Justin's slightly older than me, so he probably played the campaigns. But for me, at least early on with Vice City and specifically GTA 3, I didn't really play the campaigns. I just tried to get 5 stars and tried to survive. And I was just stealing cars and stuff. That's what I did in GTA growing up. So it's definitely something where I want to experience these stories, because I've heard that they're very good, especially Vice City. So definitely want to experience them. And the fact that we're getting this much of a facelift with also some gameplay mechanics and sensibilities to bring it to the modern era, like I'm just actually really excited for it.
Yeah, one of the things that I've thought about over the past week after the pre-order was something that's kind of sad to think about, but I know we've touched base on it in Test Your Might before, about the soundtracks of GTA and how they're so iconic and they're so memorable. Unfortunately, that's a lot of songs are going to be ripped from them, and new stuff is going to be implicated. But the chatterbox and the radio stations that have just talk radio, those will obviously still be in there, which is a big point for a lot of gamers. But the music, the licensing issues, you know how that works. Games weren't meant to stay along and re-release this long after a license deal. Sure. So it's going to be a little difficult to adjust to, not knowing or knowing that the same songs aren't going to be in there that you remember nostalgic wise. But I'm sure they'll do it justice. It's Rockstar after all.
Yeah. Which is something that was crazy to think about, the Tony Hawk remasters, that they did get 100% of the original soundtrack and then they added to it. So, but there's just so much music in the original GTAs. Like it's
Hmm.
Yeah, it would be impossible to secure all those licenses again.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, GTA Trilogy is coming out November 11th. If you subscribe to PlayStation Now is actually getting the GTA 3 remaster. And then Game Pass is getting GTA San Andreas. So if you don't want to spend the $60 to get the full trilogy, maybe you subscribe to one of those subscriptions, you could get at least one of those experiences. So, all right. Last on our list here, really quick. We were not going to have this on this week's Test Your Mind episode because this actually released yesterday, and so we want to chat about it here today, and that was the Halo campaign trailer. So, Justin, what are your initial thoughts on this trailer?
Visually captivating. It looks phenomenal. Master Chief's voice, crisp and clear, just like it used to be, bringing back the feels. Cortana, you know, I'm gonna enjoy the campaign for sure. The only issue I have, and I don't know if you have the same issue, is I know and I knew that it was going to be an open world game. I knew that it was going to be a bigger game. I just don't want them to, what'd you say, Ubisofy the game.
Oh my goodness!
Because from the trailer, if you haven't watched it, pause this video, go watch it, guys. But he does blow up a camp with a rocket launcher, and when I saw that initially, I was like, "Is this Just Cause? Is this Far Cry?" I don't see that in the Halo universe. But if you're gonna have your buddies with you doing it, regardless to what you're doing as Chief and as a Spartan, it's going to be a fun experience. And the mini map looked great. The on-screen display map, it looked like they had things labeled properly. It didn't look really messy. It didn't look over cluttered, which is one of Ubisoft's problems. And I really feel like it's going to be clean. It just, that little slim chance that it could be like over big amount of content in the open world. It worries me, but from the nostalgia feel, it's perfect.
No, yeah, it's honestly I was getting really really excited in the trailer. I was just getting pumped and watching it until the outpost came in.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm on the same wavelength as you, Justin. Like for me, I really hope that it's completely sparse. Like it's not a lot. I do think that outposts are probably going to play a good amount into the story overall. So I do feel as if it's going to be a little bit necessary, but I hope that it's not. I hope that it's not overbearing. So yeah, but yeah, otherwise, like I'm excited to get into another campaign with the Chief. December 8th can't come any sooner. I'm really looking forward to it. They showed off what they needed to show off. It honestly looks phenomenal. There's not going to be ray tracing right off the get-go on the PC version. I believe it might be in the Series X version, but for the most part, I'm extremely excited. That got me pumped up. The gameplay, the ability to use the grappling hook whenever you want.
Yes,
I'm glad I'm glad that that's a staple in Chiefs arsenal, and so I'm really really looking forward to it. So, okay, so yeah, Justin, you got anything else?
All right, so in the trailer there was 2 banshees, and there was this awesome grapple skill, like you were saying with the grapple, using it anywhere. That was another thing that really made me think Just Cause, because Just Cause had that technique. But they tried to do kind of like they did do a banshee blow up and then reverse and jump on the other banshee and fly away and bomb stuff. And I was like, Chief has got some skills now. Dang.
Yeah.
Like in when I was growing up, the thought of grappling in Halo 2 or Halo 3.
Well, just like movement in general, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, go back and play Halo 1, 2, 3, whatever. You're slow. Like and it feels
heavy.
Even though the games are masterpieces in their own right, in my opinion, it feels outdated. And so Although I agree with you that it has these spins of different games into the mechanics, like,
Hmm.
you thought of the Just Cause stuff. I think it's going to be a welcome thing for Halo
Oh yeah,
specifically,
yeah,
because we, besides Halo 4, like Halo 4, they added the sprint, but it was like a tactical thing. You couldn't always sprint. But now for, Halo Infinite to bring more modern sensibilities to the gameplay, like I'm just truly excited about it. Like,
yeah.
I could care less about if, we did this in Just Cause before, because no offense to Just Cause fans, I'm now doing this with the Chief, and that is
Mhm.
just way more impactful for me
Yeah.
specifically.
No, I completely agree. I'm not saying, I'm just saying I noticed these things that are coming
Yeah.
from other games, but those were also good games in their ranks. And
Yeah.
why not implicate the best of all the worlds? I just don't want it to be
100%.
overload. I'm
Yeah.
worried about overload. That's what it is. And really, I was pumped watching that
Yeah.
trailer all the way till the end. The outpost thing was the only thing that was like, you know.
Yeah, and
But
like with the outpost thing, I think one of the key differences, at least from what I gathered from the trailer, is that there's a lot of games that that talk about their outposts, and they say you can tackle an outpost either stealthily or you can do it, action or whatever.
mhm.
And I really enjoyed, at least from the trailer, the fact that this outpost, no, you're going as the chief and you're
Yeah,
going guns blazing, and we
yeah.
don't care. Like, that is
His
what
entrance was literally firing a rocket at the tower.
yeah,
Like,
rocket at the tower, and that's one of the things that gets me excited about these types of outposts, because, to be honest, like, for the most part, in those types of games that do have the outposts, like, I eventually would have to go guns blazing because I'm just
mhm.
not that good at stealth. But the fact that this, I don't even have to think. Like, I'm
Mhm.
literally the Master Chief. Like, I'm just gonna go in guns blazing, and I think the outposts are going to be fun. The way that they, at least from the trailer, the way that it looks like it's designed, is really awesome to me. So
Mhm.
I am looking forward to that. But as we already discussed, I really hope that it's not like, I don't think it's going to be as like drastic as this, but I really hope that it's not like, oh, you have to do this outpost to get to the next story mission or something like that.
Yeah.
That's
I don't
I'm
think they would
hoping
ever do
not
that.
that. I hope not. I really hope not. But overall, like I said, the outpost might fit with the story. Like, the banished have taken control of this Halo,
Mhm.
and so outposts, I do believe, fit actually within the story
That's the
that they're
story.
going for. Yeah, I just don't want to be overwhelmed with them. So
Yep.
unless
Agreed.
unless they're fun, unless
Like I
they're
said, if you
entirely
have
fun.
buddies with
Yeah,
you and you're going through co-op and you're going through outposts, that's huge. That's going
yeah,
to be so much fun as
100%.
Master Chief. All the things you can do with grapples now and vehicles, and it's going to be fun. Regardless if it seems repetitive, I think that each one's going to be different when you have a group or even by yourself. With the amount of utilities you have upon yourself, you
Yeah,
can make it unique for
yeah,
sure.
100%. All right. Well, that actually concludes our small little episode here. We just had a little bit of news to chat about and to catch up on, so that we don't kind of miss a week of an episode. So hopefully you enjoyed these little news updates. If we do end up missing recording a proper Test Your Might episode, with the debate and all, we always plan on doing these little news updates for you. So stay tuned to that. Once again, a reminder, we should have a new episode of the 90s First Show coming out this Friday, as well as hopefully on Sunday, Halloween, depending on if our schedules align, so that we could record it really quick. And yeah, please leave us a review once again, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching the YouTube version of this. We see you, we love you, we thank you. Yeah, all the things. For Justin, my name is Mike. This has been Test Your Might. We'll chat with you later. Bye now. Bye.
Bye.